Hello and welcome to Create the Flow. I'm Monica Freeman, host and founder of Monica Freeman Studios and Unewell. I am here to guide you in aligning with your soul's purpose, trusting your inner voice, and building a life that you truly love. You were born with a purpose, and your intuition already knows the way. Hello, my love. Welcome back to the show. I took yesterday down. It's interesting because I have probably 7 or 8 podcast episodes, maybe 10, that I have recorded, edited, and scheduled to go out. And then on the day, I just don't release them. I end up unpublishing them because I feel like either the audio quality isn't great because I'm traveling or something inside of me just like prevents me from sharing it, which is one of my limiting beliefs that I have to work through, which is perfectionism, because nobody is perfect. That is not what today's episode is about, but I just wanted to lead with that in case you are someone who's struggling with trying to always show up as the best version of yourself and not putting out content or not always fully showing up because you think you're not good enough, because unfortunately, that's a limiting belief, and it's really no way to be because we should just put ourselves out there. We shouldn't have to be perfect. We should feel confident exactly as we are. So that's just something to hopefully motivate you to show up authentically as yourself. Now, with that being said, today's topic is about survival mode. I grew up with limiting beliefs that kept me in survival mode more than half of my life. And even when I shifted out of survival mode, I would have little things that would happen periodically over the case of years that would trigger me and force me back into a fear cycle. And it was cyclical. And I think about how at the time I didn't have the tools that I have now. Looking back, I wish I had been younger when I came into this knowledge. But it's the right time whenever you find it. There's no wrong or right time. It's just the reason why I say I wish I had been younger is the level of peace that you feel internally when you are not living in survival mode feels so good. A lot of people think survival mode is money, material possessions, like enough wealth to live comfortably. But survival is actually you searching for safety. It's your body feeling threatened. And if you are currently in survival mode, you can tell by the telltale signs because you are in a state of hyper-vigilance. So you are constantly looking for threats and you are constantly operating from chronic stress. So from that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. More than half of my life, I was living like that unconsciously. I knew that I had a short filter, like a short fuse that could easily be set off by something if we were going out to dinner and all of a sudden the time got pushed up an hour and I had allocated my time to a specific routine that I was going to get certain things done before that dinner, that would set me off. And that's like really a small example, but that's also something that should not set us off. We should not be set off by traffic or by being late or being early or plans shifting or somebody saying something that doesn't align with us. We should have the control over our emotions in order to not respond, so not react. When you become overactive or the opposite, you completely shut down, you are in fear. So you're in that survival response. And this can show up in a lot of different ways. This can show up in a toxic relationship when you're suppressing your emotions. This can show up when you are stressing over money and how to pay your bills. This can show up in various categories of our lives. It's not just, like I said, one category. So it's really taking an audit of your life and getting brutally honest with yourself about what is causing you to feel afraid. Survival mode is essentially your nervous system not feeling safe. And the only way to get out of survival mode isn't to get into a healthy relationship, isn't to come into a lot of money, isn't to be sitting in a house on a perfect tree lined street that is in a safe gated neighborhood. None of that matters. While, yes, that environment can create a sense of safety that puts your nervous system at ease, the truth is, you can create that same emotion internally on your own when you learn to regulate your nervous system. That feeling, when you can learn how to get to that place, then you're able to actually work through the fear, whatever it is that's triggered you, whatever it is that's actually happening. Because usually when we snap or we overreact, it's not because of the situation that's in front of us, whatever that external situation is. It's not because your boyfriend or your girlfriend just said something that cause this reaction. It's not because the traffic is going to keep you stuck for an extra 3 or 5 minutes. There's usually something that's been brewing subconsciously for quite some time, and everything comes to the surface all at once, and then we react. First, we experience an emotion, and then our brain sends a chemical reaction to our body that causes us to react. So it's in the pause when you stop yourself, as soon as you feel that emotion coming on, when you pause and you actually regulate in that breath work. And if you can't do breath work, you can count numbers. You can just pause and tell yourself, I'm going to notice 5 things in my environment and count 5 different things. I'm going to hear 3 different sounds, count 3 different sounds. Or maybe take a walk and really digest whatever it is that's happening internally. It's when we take that pause that we're able to down-regulate the nervous system and start to feel safe. And that's just one modality. You can do EFT tapping, you can listen to a meditation, you can connect with nature, you can literally just go for a walk down the street. There are so many different ways that we can go internally to connect with ourselves and ground ourselves, to anchor ourselves. But a lot of times, we can't take that pause fast enough, so we respond instead. And the more you do that, the more you're creating a neural pathway in your brain that tells your body this is a threat. So every time you experience an emotion like that and you're triggered by something similar, you're going to respond the same way, because your body learns that that's what it needs to do to protect you, that that's what's safe. Instead of learning what actually is safe, which is take the pause, downregulate your nervous system, calm yourself in that moment, count your breaths, or whatever you need to do to just calm yourself, and then think from a logical, solution-based, conscious place where you're actually using your prefrontal cortex to make decisions instead of reacting. The reason why I'm sharing all of this is because a lot of people think that they're stuck in survival mode because they don't have enough money to pay their bills, or they're struggling because, quote unquote, this year's been hard, or whatever their limiting belief is, whatever the story is they've created. But the truth of the matter is, survival mode stems from a story, a narrative that you have created. It's a belief that you picked up in childhood that has been creating the reality that you're living up to this day if you have not rewritten that belief. So as long as you keep believing that thought, which is, I'll never have enough money to pay my bills, I just want to make enough to get by, money is hard to make, money doesn't grow on trees, I'm not worthy of money, the list goes on. The longer you live in that narrative, the longer you are going to be hyper-vigilant, looking for threats and trying to find ways to keep yourself in scarcity, in lack, in poverty, in survival, because that is the only story or reality that your body knows. And unfortunately, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that what was modeled to you as a child has lived with you up to this point in your life. But it is your responsibility to heal that, to shift that and change your reality if you don't like the reality that you're living in. I don't think people realize, as a mentor, you are holding space for people. You are essentially a facilitator to help guide somebody to their next level. But you can't handhold them and keep them accountable if they're not doing the work. The person has to show up for themselves every day. We are individually responsible for the life that we are living. You can listen to as many podcasts as you want. You can take as many courses as you want. You can hire as many coaches as you want. But if you're not actually going internally and saying, hey, whatever your name is, what is the block that is keeping me stuck? Like, what am I truly authentically afraid of? What is the worst possible case that I think is going to happen? Why am I so afraid right now? Like, what really is the blind spot that I can't see? Until you actually get so vulnerable and so honest with yourself and you find what that fear is that you have been suppressing for so many years and you heal that wound, nothing's going to change. You will create the same reality no matter how many mentors help you because you have to go internally and do the work. I have a program that helps you find your block. It helps you rewrite that block. It helps you reframe it. It helps you create a new narrative, and it helps you build safety in your body. It does help you manifest money, but I feel like everybody speaks about manifesting money. And the truth of the matter is, I've had a lot of money and I've had little money. And I have to be honest that it doesn't matter if you have less or more. If your nervous system doesn't feel safe, you will self-sabotage. You will push money away. You will end up back at square one. You will give your money away. You will lose it. You will fail at whatever it is you're doing that feels sustainable in that time. Like, there is something on your timeline in the future that will be destructive, that will take you down, because at some point in your future, that lack of safety will bring you back to your baseline, which is survival mode. And I feel so sad even saying that because it sounds negative, but it's reality. And it was my reality. And it's how I got into this work. Honestly, when you do the work, you feel so safe in your body that money doesn't become a threat. It becomes energy. And when you do the work, if you have a belief that tells you you're not worthy, because a lot of people do, I used to, when you have that belief and you overcome that belief, you start to magnetize things and attract things to you, because a lot of people carry a belief that they're not worthy of money. So because they feel like they're not worthy of money, they have a hard time receiving money. They have a hard time asking for what they're worth. They have a hard time even letting somebody buy them something. So a perfect example, if you go to lunch with a friend and they offer to pay, you'll resist, or you'll offer to pay because you don't feel like you're worthy of them paying for you. This shows up in a lot of different ways. That's just one example. But in order to get out of survival mode, you have to feel safe in your body. And the first step to feeling safe is to regulating your nervous system. And if you are ready to learn and you are looking for that, I want to help guide you. I want to be the mentor and teach you. So I would love for you to DM me or email me, text me, and let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how this resonates with you. Let me know what you're thinking about survival mode. If you are currently in a lack mindset, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're in survival, and you are operating from fear, energy, and hypervigilance, I would love to hear your story. And I'd love to help you navigate that. And also, you could hop into my 3-week money manifestation challenge. I do want to preface this by saying, even though it's a 3-week challenge, the course is broken up into 3 weeks because I teach you over the span of 3 weeks how to manifest money. But the course is deeper than just how to manifest money. So it is an entire wellness, subconscious reprogramming, reworking, healing core wound, and manifestation challenge. It's an all-encompassing challenge. I created this. Nobody has the same framework. It's what I used to manifest my first $200,000 month. So if that is something that you're interested in, I would love to help you in there. But also you could DM me and reach out to me with your story. I'd love to hear your story. So if you are in survival mode, I want you to know there is help. There is a way out. And I don't want you to feel like you're lacking and you're stuck in this reality forever, because this is not your forever. This is only until you decide to heal and shift your mindset. So I love you so much. I'm sending you good energy and I want nothing but amazing success for you. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you'd like more information, you can follow along on Instagram at Create the Flow Podcast or find me personally at Monica Freeman. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a review and share it with a friend.